Anyone else just feeling super disconnected from life lately? Or maybe you're constantly wondering to yourself, like, is this really it? You might not realize it right now, but you might be doing one of these 5 things that are silently sabotaging you from living a more authentic, purpose-driven, soul-aligned life. So in today's video, we're going to be addressing these 5 things that you need to stop doing ASAP in order to live in more alignment. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you a very powerful mindset shift that I had that completely changed everything for me. And by the way, if this is our first time meeting, hi, my name is Heather. This page is all about cultivating community for like-minded women who no longer align with the outdated programming. This page is for women who are looking to step into a more purposeful, soul-aligned, and expansive life. So if this sounds like you, leave a comment on where you're at in your own journey, and I welcome you to be a part of this journey so we can embark on this ever-expanding journey together. Okay, let's dive right in. Okay, the first thing that you need to stop doing immediately is stop ignoring that inner voice. You know that gut feeling that you get every time you're questioning something or someone asks you to do something? That is actual wisdom. That is your body giving you the answer of something before your mind can even catch up. Your gut knows what the answer is and what you need to do before your mind knows. But we are so conditioned to think from our mind. We are conditioned to think rationally instead of listening to our intuition. In fact, it's so funny when you think about it. When you get a gut instinct, people often ridicule that, or they think that is so woo-woo or spiritual. But in actuality, we do have 2 brains, and our brain and our gut actually work intuitively together. So when you get that feeling, you get that slight instinct, listen to that. Oftentimes we go day by day and we are so conditioned to just ignore that. And we are living so out of alignment with our intuition. No wonder that people are walking around like absolute zombies and so disconnected because we are ignoring our intuition. The second thing that you need to stop doing in order to be living in more alignment is stop living for external validation. Now listen, I am not shaming anyone here, because if anyone has done this pretty much her entire life, it's me. And the worst part was I didn't even realize that I was doing this, because I would not really consider myself to be a people pleaser, if I'm completely honest, but I didn't realize that I was constantly living from external validation. I was living based on what society expected me to do. I didn't realize that I was making all of my choices based on external validation. I was making my choices based on what society expected of me, based on parental guidance, even based on what my friend group were doing. It's that feeling of not wanting to be rejected and not wanting to be pushed out of the group. That is something that is built into our DNA. In fact, it is what we needed to survive, but we don't need that anymore. If you decide to do something differently based on the group, it's not a case of life or death anymore. You're gonna be okay. And when you constantly need external approval, you're completely abandoning yourself. Since when is it more important what someone else thinks of us than what we think of our own self? In fact, we will do things that we don't even agree with just to make someone else happy. I absolutely love this quote by Epictetus. If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. If you need a witness, be your own. The third thing that you need to stop doing immediately in order to live in more alignment is to stop saying yes to things that feel like a no. Because people pleasing is self-abandonment in disguise. And just think of it this way. Every time you say no to something that you don't feel in alignment with, you are saying yes to your inner peace. And that's it. That's all you need to know. The fourth thing that you need to stop doing in order to live in more alignment is to stop numbing or distracting yourself from your emotions. And trust me, I share this one from experience. This was actually the hardest one for me to do, and it's exactly why I am on a digital social media detox right now. I recognized that I was constantly distracting myself either from doing things that were productive and getting me closer to my purpose, my mission in life, or I was actually just distracting myself from emotions that I felt uncomfortable with. We have to get comfortable with discomfort. We have to get comfortable with sitting in silence and actually listening to our inner voice. We have all the guidance that we need. We need to stop looking outside for constant validation and constant answers and constant guidance. You have all the guidance and all the answers you need. You just need to be willing to sit quietly with yourself for long enough to hear the answers. And I know it's scary for so many people because so many things will come up that you actually feel uncomfortable with, but this is a good thing. This is such a good opportunity for growth. The fifth thing that you need to stop doing in order to live in more alignment is to stop measuring your life by someone else's timeline. Ooh, this one hits home so hard for me because for so long, I was doing things based on what other people were doing. For example, if I would see someone create an online business that seemed to be working so well for them, what would I do? I would hop on that bandwagon right away. And then I would ask myself, why is this not working for me? Why don't I feel in alignment? Why don't I feel excited about waking up and doing this every day? If it's working so well for them, why is it not working well for me? Because that was not my journey to be on in the first place. You need to also remember this. There is no real timeline. We are constantly living stressed out by this clock. We think we need to be hitting certain goals by a certain age. And if we don't accomplish that specific goal by that age, we immediately feel like a failure. But you have no idea what is actually in store for you. Your timeline is not meant to be the exact same as someone else's. That is us just operating from a place of fear based on what society is programming and conditioning us to believe that we need to achieve. Because newsflash, there is no right or wrong. Your own journey is your own, and you get to write the script. So stop thinking that you're a failure just because your journey does not look the exact same as someone else's. Remember, you are the only you. Why on earth do you want to be like someone else? Why on earth do you want to replicate someone else's journey? Go out there, go within, and figure out what it is that you're meant to do. Okay, now you remember that mindset bonus that I talked about in the beginning? This one actually changed the game for me. Because what I realized was it's not actually about the massive changes that you take, it's actually about the smaller ones. So it comes down to things like saying yes when you actually really wanted to say no, laughing at something when it actually kind of hurt, doing something just to appease someone when in reality you actually really don't want to do it, or holding back telling someone how you actually feel just to protect their feelings. These are all examples of self-abandonment and not living authentically. Because every time you do this, you are actually betraying yourself. You are telling yourself all those little feelings that you feel, they don't actually matter. I need to put someone else ahead of myself. This is self-betrayal. And when I stopped living like this and started putting my own alignment first, everything shifted for me. This also signals to yourself that I am worthy. You respect the boundaries that you put in place for yourself in order to live your truth. So that concludes our video for today, my friends. And let me know, did any of these really hit home and resonate for you? Drop it in the comments because I would love to hear from you and connect with you. And as always, just remember, we are worthy, we are love, and we are light. And I will catch you in the next video.